सी यू हैव टू फाइंड टाइम फॉर DSA. ऐसे ही होता है कि स्टूडेंट्स they just put DSA in the lower box of their priority circle. Okay, so but you cannot do that. You have to dedicate time for DSA and complete everything you are supposed to do. So let me open the Jamboard as well. Okay, good. Madhu, please increase your space. यार एक्सेस भी दे दिया करो. Good, Raj, good. I know you are trying your best. So let's start. So far we have studied array and string, which were a linear data structure. Same space. What same space? Okay, so let's look at a stack. Stack is a linear data structure in which each element is stacked one above the other. So if we were discussing in array and string, every element were adjacent to each other. So please understand, they were adjacent. Like one data is there, second data is there, third data is there, fourth data is there. So they were stacked in a adjacent manner and not on top of the other. Let's say in this photo, imagine this situation, there are lots of plates which are kept on top of one another. One plate, two plate, three plate, four plate, and hundreds of as many as plate possible. So it will come down to something like this. So it will come like something like this. One, on top of that, two, then three, and so on. So this is the representation, graphical representation, the working of it, but the actual storage of a stack will be just like that of an array in adjacent location in your memory block. Okay, so like it will be implemented like this in your memory. 1, 2, it's not necessary they will be adjacent, they can be at different they will be adjacent because it's a stack. So 4 and 5, this will be how it will be in the memory, and you stack them on top of one another in order to understand the functionality better, but actually they are stored in a linear way in your memory only. Okay, so this is the fundamental. Like, so imagine this stack of dish. Now think how you can add a new dish to it. You will say, sir, मैं बीच में I will add it somewhere in the middle, but that's not possible because all the above of it will fall. Okay, so you have no choice but to add on the top. You can only add element on the top. 4 will be added here. Think about removing. You might say I will remove third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, but if you try to remove all the above of it will fall. Okay, so that's why we only add at the top, we only remove from the top from the stack. Okay, so there is no random access. In array we had a random access, we can index any index we want at any point, but in this there is no random access. So I am trying to understand you basic concept behind stack, because if you don't, lots of students get confused क्योंकि कुछ question are very complex, like reversing a stack, so in which you have to use recursion as well as your stack, so it will be double stack will happen in that case. So you have to understand how stack works. So it's last in first out, so element which is added at the last will be the first one to be taken out, so you call it last in first out. Element that goes first comes out first. Okay, it has lots of application in computing world, like balancing of symbol, infix to postfix, and most importantly redo undo features. You can see the control Z features of your system, like they put all the activities in a stack and they remove one by one from the top. Or you're trying to go back from a browser, you go to one link, then you go to next link, then go back. So this is how stack is used. The concept is used in different formats. Also used in many algorithms. It forms base for backtracking, night tour problem, rat in a maze. Okay, you can go on and look at them. Now there is some operations we have to study about tech. stack, there are 2 3 common operation. One is push. When we try to add an element on an empty stack, you can see I'm trying to add element 1 on an empty stack. So I will call this operation as push, which is said adding an item in the stack. Okay, if I try to remove an element from the stack from the top, like 3 is removed, so I am left with 2 and 1, I call it pop. Okay, there are 2 other methods. It can be either called peek or it can be either called top, depending on the language you are using. It means you have to just return the value of the topmost element. You don't remove it, right? You just tell us which is the value at the topmost element. Another method is empty. It will check whether a stack is empty or false. Okay, so there are few conditions in stack. The same limitation of array also applies to stack. When you define a stack, you have to give a fixed size. Like you have to define a stack of 10 size, 20 size, 30 size. So let's say you have defined a stack of size 30 and you have added all 30 elements in it. Okay, so there will be no space if you try to add another element into it. So that condition is called stack overflow. We call it overflow condition because there is no space empty in the stack in which we can add new element. So you will find this question at lot of MCQs and lot of MCQs only in lot of written of many companies. So overflow and underflow. Underflow is a condition when stack is empty and you are trying to remove some element, like stack is become empty but you still call the pop method. So you will check the condition for is empty. So these are the 2 3 basic functions, that operations that we perform on stack. Everybody is clear? Is there any doubt how push work, how pop work? Next we will see the code implementation of these methods in different languages. Any query to anyone? Good. So let me first look at the time complexity. If you try to think of the time complexity of push pop is empty, all peek method. So what will be the time complexity of push method? Who will tell me in the chat section? You can comment your answers. Let's say there are n elements in a stack. So what will be the time complexity of taking one push? O1. Okay. Anyone else? Any other option? But have you seen in the PDF, right? Or you are just, you knew it already? Okay, good. So, okay, tell me what is O1 time complexity? Like, what does it mean? Who will tell me what is O1 time complexity? Constant, okay? No, not linear time, Palak. Linear time is On. Constant time, like it's fixed. It's fixed how many operations will happen. Okay, so linear time means n number of operations will happen. N square means n square number of operations will happen. If there are 10 elements, so the largest can be 100 operation from 10. So it's not fixed that only 100 will happen. You just get a range. So time complexity is a different concept which we haven't covered. Okay, so O1 complexity will happen. This will also be asked you in MCQs of many written companies. I see a lot of these questions. What is the time complexity of push pop? And they will give you some options which you have to tell. Why? Because there is no loop running in it. You directly access the element. Okay, good. So that part is clear to everyone. How stack works, how push works, how pop works. Okay, so I will show you the code in GIF in brief of all the languages so that you can get an idea. The actual implementation of LeetCode and GFG will differ because we are going to use some inbuilt classes to implement a stack, but here I will only use array or list in Python to implement the stack. So let's see in C++, then Java, and then Python. So we define a class. If you are aware of oops in C++, so we need knowledge of oops. So we define a variable int top, and we have some other method declaration we do in the public section in C++. If you are aware of the oops in it, and you define an array, a simple array with size that is maximum. You have defined earlier 1000. You can define it here as well. Then you call the constructor and initialize the top to -1. So the most important part is to know in the initial step the top represents the value of top is -1. Then you define some another methods. Push, pop, peek is empty. We are going to see to them in details. First is push. So first condition you have to check if top is empty. So sorry, it's full. if it's the condition of stack overflow, like the top has reached to max max minus 1. Okay, I'm not able to focus today. Okay, so if top भर गया है, उसमें कोई space नहीं है, तो you will tell stack overflow happened and return false. If there is space, you will pre-increment the top, because top represents the last value, so increment it first and then assign the value in that array, and you can comment anything you want. Okay, next you go to pop section. Pop, you have to first check is the stack empty or not. If it is empty, you just say stack underflow. Else you remove the element and decrement the value after removing, after taking the value from array into variable A. So value will still be there in that array, it will not be removed. The only thing is our index of top has decremented, so we will not be accessing that value, it will still stay there. Okay, so let's say if I show you with an example, let me delete all this. Okay, so let's say this is our array representation. Sorry for my drawing. Okay, and here is our graphical representation or pictorial representation, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I add 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so top points to this point 3. top की वैल्यू कितनी हमारी 3 है. Okay, if I want to pop an element, what will happen? T will decrement to 2, it will come down to this and it will be removed from here in our graphical representation, but in reality it will stay at that position only. 4 will stay in the array, you can just replace them when new push comes. Okay, so it will stay there and T will become 2. Now you push, let's say we push back 5, so what will happen? 5 will be added here in pictorially and this will be incremented and 4 will be now replaced by 5. So this is the conceptual level we are working, how push is working, how pop is working. It will be more evident, more crucial to understand this working in the case of Q, which we'll study tomorrow. So this is the condition we have started. Let's look at peak. You have to first check stack is empty or not. If it is empty, it is empty by checking top is less than 0. So whenever we make the stack empty, we will make it minus 1. Then else you will take the topmost element and return it. No removal, no addition. Then you check is empty. If top is negative, which means your stack is empty. Simple. Let's look at Java. Similar operations we are going to perform in Java. You have taken a max value, initialized an array. You have called the constructor top equals to minus 1 is empty. If top is negative, it is empty. And in the push, you will check kahin full to nahi, is it not full, stack overflow. And in the else condition, you just pre-increment the top value and then add the variable at that position and say pushed. Same in pop. Okay, very simple condition. I think you must have understood. Peak also very simple. Let's see in Python. Python is slightly different, so let's see Python, how it works in Python. You have to import this max size to initialize the value. You have called this method or come constructor. Stack is initialized as a list and not an array. It will check is empty, len stack equal to 0. Is that clear to everyone how its implementation in your languages, that is C++ and Java? Then we push, we take the stack object, the item, and append. So in Python we are going to use the method append and not some indexing, because we don't know the length and everything else, so we will just append. In the case of pop, we will directly call the pop method in the stack, first checking the condition whether it's there is some space or not, it is empty or not, and you just simply going to pop it up. Okay, and peak you return the value stack and the specific index of that value. Okay, so stack is clear to everyone? Any doubt to anyone? It's a very simple data structure, but question gets very complicated in it. Now we go to our problem section. We are going to do two very common stack problems. One will be on LeetCode and one will be on GFG. Is it clear to everyone, stack? Okay, good. So the first problem we are going to today is valid parenthesis. It's a very common problem. It will not be asked to you any I don't think it will be asked in any interviews. It's very simple, but you can just do it as a first problem. Good everyone, very good. Diksha and Raj. काफी स्लो चल रहा है आज. So let me first explain the question. You guys, everyone, open this LeetCode link in your systems and start reading the problem. So reading the problem is very important because you have to understand all the conditions, and this is where a lot of students lag in your interviews because you miss some condition, you avoid some boundary situation, and you just write your code, and a lot of students get rejected in those issues. Okay, so it's a very simple question. We are given a string S containing just the characters like round parenthesis, opening closing, curly braces, opening closing, square brackets, opening closing. Okay, so we have to determine if this is input string is valid or not. What do you mean by valid? If opening number and sequence matches the closing number and sequence. Okay, what are the condition? Open brackets must be closed by the same type of bracket in the right sequence and in the correct order. Okay, so let's say we are given these two characters, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, you return true. In the second option, open, close, open, close, open, close. In this you have open parenthesis but closing is square bracket, so this is a problem, you return false. In this condition, open, open, okay, close, close, but you have to first close the square, so this will become false. Okay, so and this is also perfect. Okay, it is also given to us S will only consist of parentheses and nothing else. The length will go up to maximum 10 to the power 4. So it has around 37 lakh attempts. So I think it's a very good famous problem, 20 numbers, so very old as well. So you guys can try a simple logic. What you do, I'll give you a simple hint. You take the string, traverse it, put all the braces on the top, and you keep popping and comparing one by one. So very simple approach. I think you can definitely try. Let's try for 5 to 6 minutes and let me know if you are able to do or not. So link is there in the chat. If anybody wants, I will post it again because few students joined later. So everyone is attempting, okay? Anyone attempted? Any doubt to anyone? You can discuss with me in the chat. Okay, so who all is actually trying this question? Let me know in the comments. Good. Also, make sure you do code on your own. Don't copy it from discuss or any other section. Okay? तो हमें पता लग जाता है कब कॉपी होता है. Because you are here to learn. And if you don't do it on your own, then there is no point of it. Good. It's a very, very simple question, very basic question of stack. I don't think there is any other question more simpler than this in stack. Is there anyone from 2021 batch? Good. So let me discuss the solution, or do you need more time? Okay, 2 minutes given. Okay, Arun. So what approach did you use? You can show your code, discuss about your approach. Okay, good. This is a very simple approach, and we are going to use this only. But I am not sure you can type all this code in this 5 7 minutes. Anyone else wants to share the code, or we start? Okay, good then. So let me discuss the solution. Okay, so we will scan the string from left to right. Whenever we find an opening brace, we will just push it onto the top of the stack. Okay, then whenever we find a closing brace, we will pop one brace from the top and compare does it match to that or not. So very simple approach, very simple logic we are going to use. Okay, let me explain you with the help of a diagram. So I create this simple stack. So let's say there is this expression with me. Okay, I start a for loop which will be equivalent to the length of it, that is 6, and I will go to this curly brace. This is opening. I will check a if condition and add it onto the top. Then I go to this This is opening, added. I go to this square, this is opening, added. When I come to this one is closing, so I will pop one element from the top, square bracket will be removed, and it will be compared with this whether it matches it or not. In this case it matches, so we'll go forward and pop again for this, compare with this, then pop again for this and compare with this. So at the end, if all the elements are removed but there are still element in the stack, which means it is not possible, so it's false. Okay, we will say it is false. Or if it is doesn't matches in any place, we will return and say it is false. Okay, so let's look at the code. So it's a very simple. So we have used a stack data structure which is available in STL standard template library. You can also do it with the help of an array as well, but STL is better. So it's up to you what you use. Okay. So because if you use on your own, you have to write all those methods of push, pop, peek. Okay. Stack char s and char x for some comparison. We started a for loop I equals to 0 to less than expression dot length I plus plus. We check if it is equal to the opening part of anyone or three conditions. We push and then we continue. There is no need for continue as well. Okay, continue is there because we have compared and we don't want it to go further, so that's why we use continue, so that we go to the next iteration. If it is not closing, then we check it is empty. If it is empty, you return false. Okay, because you have added some element and not able to complete it. Then you go to switch. Switch is possible because there are three standard conditions that we have to compare. You take the current expression in the string. If it is a closing bracket, then you take the topmost element, pop it as well. If it is equal to closing bracket, opening bracket of other types, then you return false, else you break. Okay, else you just move on to the next iteration. I hope the logic is clear to everyone. And you check again for curly braces, you top, you pop, and you compare. If it matches the other kind of it, then you return false, else you go to the next iteration. If all the loop happens and it hasn't returned anywhere, so you will check if it is empty. This condition check whether it is empty or not. If it is empty, it will send true. If it is not empty, will send false. The condition I explained to you here in the end, if there are some elements left in the stack. Okay, so this is simple code. Let's look at the Java code. In this I am using a DQ class with character as a wrapper class sent to it and called stack new array DQ. So it's nothing but a data structure available. You can also do it with an array, but you have to define the functions as I told you earlier. So it's up to you which you use for stack. For loop for whole length, you take char at and store it in X. If it is the opening bracket, you push and continue. If stack is empty, you return false. Then you start a switch for X and you pop the topmost element and compare does it match to other two braces, then you return false. If it is not, you just move on to the next iteration and so on. In the end, you check it is empty or not. If it is empty, then true, then false. Let's look at the Python code. Similarly, in Python we are going to use list only. Okay, so I haven't shown all the methods of because append and pop will happen without the self-define. We don't have to define those methods. That's why I don't like Python. Okay, so we start a for loop taking each char in whole the expression. If it is opening, you append, else if stack is empty, return false. Okay, in this we have taken the else condition and not the continue, or we could have used pass as well, which is available in it, so you can use that as well. You pop the element and then compare the way we compared to other things. Okay to everyone? Any doubt to anyone? So how many students have submitted this problem on LeetCode? Okay, good, Diksha. Anyone else? Okay, your code is not working, so please check what is the error in your code. You can also put your code in your comment so that other students can comment on it. Good, Madhu, koi baat nahi, it's not a problem. If you have a problem, you fix it, you spend more time. This is how you build your coding aptitude. Just doing 100 question, 300 question will not help you. You have to develop your coding aptitude. That's why in this bootcamp we are forcing you to solve the question and not just teaching you in a one way format. Okay, if you don't use your brains, don't improve your coding aptitude, then there is no point of doing lead code. Okay, so let me discuss what are the next question we are going to do. Next is also very commonly asked question, evaluation of a postfix expression. So this is on GFG and not on lead code. So we are given an expression. I hope you know what is prefix and postfix. Anyone here who doesn't know what is prefix and postfix? I hope so, Raj. It will take more time with array because STL is more optimized, but you have to run both the solution to know for surety. Okay, so you haven't, Madhu, you haven't matched your if else condition. That's why it's coming like this. So you have to see your if else condition. So the next problem we are going to do is a evaluation of a postfix expression. Postfix is an expression where you have the operands first and then the operators. So like you write any statement like this 2 plus 3. You first, so 2 and 3 here are operands and plus is the operator. So this is what you call infix expression. You have operands and then you have in between the operator. You called it infix expression. I can also write it 2, 3 and plus. This is what you call postfix expression. Our computer does not understand this. Computer only work in postfix or prefix expression. Prefix is operator will come first and then the operands. Okay, so this is the expression given to us. We have to do it same approach we will take if we have the operators, we will put it on the stack. Whenever get the operand, we will take down top two elements, perform the operation and put it back. Just for this example we will push 2 3 1. Okay, when star comes we will pop 1 and 3, it will become 3 into 1 and we push back 3 again. So then it will be 2 3 plus. So you pop 2 3 5 and put 5 back. So then it will be 5 9 minus. Then you pop 9 and 5 and minus. So the answer will be minus 4. So I explained you the problem. I have explained you the approach. So do try this question definitely. It's a very simple question. Okay, I hope you are able to do. If you are able to do valid parenthesis on your own, you can definitely do that on your own as well. So third question is slightly difficult where you have to sort a stack. And fourth question that we are going to do is very difficult, minimum stack. It's a very good company level interview question where you have to design a new stack and return the minimum value all the time, which we have covered extensively in our DSA series. So it's a very, I think I have a solution for this on our YouTube channel. I have to check. So it's a very important question, min stack. Sort a stack is also interesting, but it's not that important. The most important one is min stack. And apart from that, you can also do next larger element. It is also very common. Largest rectangle in histogram. It is very famous problem of lead code. So I have selected some really good questions. You can attempt them in your own time. So any doubt to anyone in evaluation of postfix? How we have to approach this question, the logic? GFG, I don't think you all must be having GFG accounts. I don't know why it's not there on the lead code. Any doubt to anyone in this question of evaluation of postfix? So let me give you a brief about how the solution is going to work. You have to define a stack. You take a for loop from I equals to 0 to s dot size plus plus I, which means you iterate whole of the string. There is some error in it, so ignore it. It's going to be the string only. Okay, so you have to first check, is it a digit or not. If it is a digit, you push it. Okay, is digit is an inbuilt function. You can also create a one function of your own as well. Okay, so you are doing this -0 to do the typecasting into an integer. Okay, character, sorry, int. Okay, so if it's a digit, you push it. If it is an operator, you pop topmost two elements. That's what I told you. You check in the switch condition, like which of this is it plus, is it minus, is it multiply, is it divide. Whichever it will be, you will divide the you will take the first will be the second value that you have popped. You pop the first value, you pop second value will always be in the ahead, and then operator, and then the val 1. Okay, and in the end you will return the st dot top, because topmost element will be the answer. Also you are pushing it into the stack as well after the operation. Okay, so Java as well, simple code stack. You are using stack class here. You can also use dequeue. You take length, you check whether it's a digit or not. If it is a digit, you push. You first do the typecasting with -0. 1 second, I'm getting a call. Okay, so it's a very simple question. अगर आपने parenthesis कर लिया, you will be able to do. You push the character, you pop two elements val1 val2. You add a switch to check which type of operator is it, plus minus star divide. You push the final result val2 first and val1 after that with the same operator you have checked in this case here, and at the end you return the pop. In Python, you will take the stack, which is a list. For I in exp, I dot is digit. If it is a digit, you append. Else you pop two elements. And there is slightly different approach I have used here. You can also, because there is no switch in it, so you can also use it if you want, or you can do it on your own. You don't have to just copy paste it. Okay, this is some shorthand notation, and that's why I don't like Python for DSA. So lot of reason for me to hate Python for DSA, and I hope you guys also hate it. Okay, so do try these two questions, and apart from that, the third and fourth question will be sort a stack and minimum stack. Let me show you the tutorial for sort a stack from my channel. I think I've added it. So anyone, any question in these two questions we have discussed, you can ask. Sort a stack, yeah, here it is. You can watch this tutorial of 9 minutes. For I will also post it into the group. So I first told you the intuition, the approach you have to follow, the code, the optimization in different languages. Okay. So these will be two more questions we will doing. Then it will be 15 questions we have covered. We can discuss the doubts of it in the next session, or you can just do it on your own by looking at some online study material. Okay, so how many are attempting the second question? How many students? Okay, good.